Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena and another Florida Everblades pregame show. I'm Hannah Jo Groves alongside Jake Maurice. Jake, yet another dominant win for the Blades on Wednesday night, 7-3 against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Before we jump into the Blades though, how did the Ghost Pirates align with what you were expecting from them on Wednesday?
Well, in the second and third period, they aligned with what I was expecting from them. They were fast. They were able to get some chances with speed. Their offensive guys able to show what they could do. The first period, though, was very much not what Savannah was hoping for. They had as many shots as Florida had goals in that frame. Arguably the best start to a game that the Everblades have had all season. That was great to see Florida just come out and take control of the game. And from there, it was just too much for Savannah to ever really have a chance to come back from.
Yeah, they took your advice, got off to a hot start. Jesse Lansdale got the first goal very quickly. Can you kind of describe what he was seeing and how did he execute so very quickly?
Well, he has a good bit of open ice past the defender. So he knows if he gets past that one guy, he's got a really good lane to the net. Great dangle to get by him and then drive straight towards it and doesn't, after taking the shot, curl away or drift off to the side. He stays at the front so that when the puck is around his abdomen, he's able to deflect it in, bank it into the net. Gives the Everblades the early lead.
Yes, and Oliver Chow was actually the second to get a goal, and I got to talk to him after Wednesday night's win. Let's take a look at that. Here with the captain, Oliver Chow, after Wednesday night's win against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. First of all, second goal of the game was yours. Walk me through what you remember of that.
Yeah, I think Nieder and Duker did a great job battling on the wall, popped up, gave it to Cole. Kind of got a fortunate bounce that went right to me, and I just tried to throw it to the net, and luckily it went in.
Really high-scoring game once again for the Blades. We talked in the pregame show about how you guys are so consistent no matter who you guys are playing against. What does that take on the mental side to have those standards going into every game?
Yeah, I think that's just part of playing in Florida. I think we hold ourselves to a very high standard, whether which opponent, it doesn't really matter. We play to our standard, and that's what we try and do here every day.
For this specific opponent, Coach talked about how you need to play a certain way to beat them with how speedy they are, their analytic strength. What is that certain way? Like, get specific about it.
I'll try and get specific, but for me, it was just as a winger, just playing higher, making sure I'm winning my battles on the wall, and then playing fast, trying not to let them get set, and trying to play fast, play on the walls, and win battles.
They've got a lot on the line here. They're playing for a spot. How do you align with their mental, physical energy coming into Friday?
I think it's a great challenge for our group. We're going to get their best, and that's heading into playoffs. That's what we want to see. We want to see where we're at and see how we do against that.
Thanks so much, Oliver.
Thank you.
So Oliver and I talked about what we've been talking about, the standards of this team and how consistent they are. How would you get more specific on that on the ice? How are they so able to get these dominant wins? What are the areas that they're just excelling in right now?
Florida's been very good on their forecheck. They've been very good at pressuring their opponents, and obviously this has always been a team that emphasizes the defensive game first. You've got Cam Johnson in the crease. That obviously helps the guys play with more confidence because they know he can cover up a lot of the blemishes that do come out over the course of 60 minutes. But the structure that the Blades have, the way they all play as a unit, it's so cohesive together, so well connected, makes it very difficult for teams to break through, especially when Florida is playing with puck control. It's really hard for the other side to gather it back and push for chances, as we saw in that first period. And of course, when Florida gets a lead, especially a lead of more than one, very often that's all they need to get the win.
I also talked to Coach Brad Ralph after Wednesday's game about what he liked and a little bit about what he didn't really like. Let's take a look at that. Here with head coach Brad Ralph after the win against the Savannah Ghost Pirates on this Wednesday night. Coach, how did Savannah align with what you were expecting with them tonight?
Yeah, they're a good hockey team. They're fast. I liked how our group came out in the first period. We kind of executed the game plan really well. We put them on their heels, and we took advantage of some of the opportunities we had. We scored on the power play, which was a nice boost for us, and just hats off to our guys. I thought they worked hard.
Another high-scoring night for you guys. What did you like about the chances that your offense were creating and finding?
Yeah, we were playing with a lot of speed. We got a couple of good bounces, and the guys were finishing at the net, so it was a great sign for us. It's been a great sign for us moving forward, but I think it all just starts with great preparation on their end. Just they were mentally ready to go tonight.
And then defense, what did you like, and maybe what needs some sharpening before Friday?
Yeah, maybe stay a little more disciplined than we were. That's hard on all of us when we're taking that many penalties in the third period. But other than that, just stay humble, reset.
That's all I have for you, Coach. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So, Jake, as you can see, a little disappointed he was in the third period there. Where did you feel like the Blades kind of lost the plot in terms of discipline?
The game was building up to it at that point. It's not like all of a sudden Florida just started running around, right? You had a hit thrown by Gianfranco Cassera in the first period, a fight later on between Weeb and Allen.
Yep.
So already things were not very pleasant between the two clubs.
Yeah.
It's a Savannah team that's desperate for points, that is in a tough skid right now, having lost 6 of their last 7 games. That means frustration bleeds through in a game where you're losing by a lot, like they were.
Right.
And then Florida responds, goes a little over the line. Jesse
Right.
Lansdale, unfortunately, suspended for tonight's game, a 1-game suspension. So he's out for this one tonight.
Right.
And, of course, in the game itself, the Everblades had to kill off 2 5-on-3 power plays in that time of Lansdale's major 5 minutes. It's really a game where if it were actually closer, you're up by 5, so you're able to get through it from that. But if it were a tighter game, if that's a 2-goal or a 1-goal game, that's a huge momentum swing. So it's definitely something that's almost, in a way, good to happen on a Wednesday in March.
Yes.
Where you can kind of learn, okay, can't have this happen again, because if this happens in April, let's say that's game 1 of a series against Savannah, that could be the difference between winning and losing game 1, and it certainly would not be good to lose like that.
Yeah.
So discipline, very important, I'm sure, for Florida tonight, something that I imagine Brad Ralph is definitely going to majorly emphasize in his pregame speech.
If he said it to me, I'm sure he's saying it to the guys as well. So I'm glad you brought up how frustrated the Savannah team is coming into tonight. Remind Blades fans, if they didn't hear you say it already, what do they have on the line?
So they have a 4-point lead on the Jacksonville Icemen for the final playoff spot in the South Division. The top 3 have already been clinched. Florida, Atlanta, South Carolina, all in, so we know that.
Yep.
That 4th one, very competitive between Savannah, Jacksonville, also the Greenville Swamp Rabbits in the mix. So with Savannah having lost all these games recently, it advantaged from a double-digit lead down to just 4. Savannah's trying to make the playoffs for the first time in their franchise's history, so there's obviously a lot on the line there. And Savannah is a team that when they lose, they keep losing. So they're desperate to get out of it tonight. Means that Florida is going to be going up against a desperate team again, which means more emotion in the game, which means discipline is even more emphasized because there's going to be points where there's a little chippiness and you've got to keep your head on straight.
And I think that just might be your first key in our direct-to-effect marketing 3 keys of the game. Discipline is that first one. Give us the other 2.
Yeah, discipline, absolutely. You're not going to win again if you're going to the box consistently, right? Second off, relentless forecheck. Florida was great at that in the first period. It's a huge part of why they controlled the game so handily in that opening 20 minutes. You need to have that come through again. And then finally, blue line control, very important. Savannah, a team that loves to get things going with speed. They love rush chances. That means they need to be able to carry the puck over the blue line with control. You stop them from doing that, or even just slow them down, force them to stay on the wall, wait for something. That takes away a big chunk of their offense. On the other side, you're controlling the offensive blue line, preventing the Ghost Pirates from getting breakouts, allows you to keep your offensive pressure going, keep your forecheck rolling, and look for more chances for the Everblades to get another win on home ice.
We've got a nice long win streak going at home now, and I know those Savannah Ghost Pirates want to get in there so badly, so we have to stay focused, and fans, we need you. Tonight is Country Night. We're so glad to have you here with us. Next up, we've got warm-ups, and then it's the Savannah Ghost Pirates versus your Florida Everblades. We'll see you there.